But all the others.
Yona Kanyomozi was born on June the 29th in 1940 in Kajara in the old Ankole district. He was the son of Zakayo Kamgarurire Bwangu and Tofasi Ruemaje Bashorora. With his parents eager to get the best out of him, Kanyomozi was sent to school early, ultimately passing through Chitunga Primary School before proceeding to Mbara High School for what was known as junior school. He then joined Ntare School as a pioneer student for his O-levels in 1956. He later proceeded to the Royal Technical College in Nairobi, now known as University of Nairobi, for his A-levels. The consummate science buff, Kanyomozi would later return to Mbara High School as an unlicensed school teacher of mathematics in 1960. Among his students was Yoweri Museveni and the late Eria Kategaya.
So I taught them for nearly 9 months, teaching them mathematics and science for all that period until I went to do my A-levels in Nairobi.
In retrospect, Kanyomozi recalls that Museveni became more politically active after joining the debating and Bible societies.
I remember him writing to me when I was in London then, telling me what was happening with the debates in the school and how things were going, which was to me very interesting to see a person now starting to identify that dynamism.
After a stint at Ntare School, Kanyomozi proceeded to the United Kingdom, where he studied for a Bachelor of Science degree in Economics at London School of Economics, after turning down another scholarship at Lincoln University in the US. Kanyomozi graduated in 1966, then returned home to work with the Uganda Electricity Board. It was then that he interacted more with Yoweri Museveni.
When he came back and joined the intelligence president's office, and I was still working in the Uganda Electricity Board, that's when we started interacting again, because a number of us young people wanted to go in parliament. He was aspiring to stand in the Nyabusozi area, and I was also aspiring to stand in Kajara.
As fate would have it, their plans were wrecked by the 1971 coup.
The party and the government said, if you have got to stand, you must have resigned your position. The 3 or 2 months, I think 2 months or something. And all of a sudden resigned our position. So we found ourselves in quandary because we couldn't.
Kanyomozi and Museveni both went into exile soon after this. While Museveni continued to Tanzania, Kanyomozi distinguished himself as an economist at the African Development Bank in Abidjan in the Côte d'Ivoire up to 1979. He returned to Uganda, finally winning the Kajara South seat in the 1980 elections. He would serve as Minister for Cooperatives and Marketing up to 1985 when the UPC government collapsed.
When the expansion of NRC came, I decided to go back and stand in my old constituency, and I handsomely won.
But elected not to participate in the Constituent Assembly. Instead, he would later join the East African Legislative Assembly.
We pushed first for the Customs Union. We were going to start as on the monetary union. When we changed the thing, the voting changed here. They started saying parties are the ones who sponsor people and not individual people. So I couldn't stand a chance because my party, as you know, didn't have enough members in the parliament. So I lost out. A
cousin to Major General Mugisha Muntu, who was once army commander, Kanyomozi has consistently opposed the National Resistance Movement administration. However, he noted the collapse of his beloved UPC.
It's unfortunate things have changed. My own party, which I used to admire and which I thought had, which I still think had the best social program for this country, got torn partly because I think our top leadership going in exile and insisting that they would still lead cost us a lot.
To the very end, Kanyomozi came across as someone who has been politically and philosophically steadfast for decades, living for many years in the one-story house in Bugolobi that he purchased in 1984 and never wavering from his principles.